now since the repugs have basically confirmed, um, since they already got the ACB sham Senate confirmation is done, now her Supreme Court horror will begin. With Democrats powerless and repugs shameless, the foregone conclusion of the dumb skank Amy Coney Barrett's confirmation as a Supreme Court justice is at last concluded. The Justice Barrett was confirmed 52 to 48 by the Senate and fittingly given her shotgun wedding of a confirmation, and it may begin deciding cases like the day after she was appointed, including two high-profile challenges to election rules. Before the travesty fades from memory, and however we thought it best to put all of the terribleness of her confirmation into one convenient top 10 list summarizing everything that was wrong with this process from its beginning all of 1 month ago to now, shall we? Number one, hypocrisy. President Barack Obama nominated a judge named Merrick Garland on March 16, 2016, but the Repug said that was too close to an election to confirm a new justice. Some even promised not to do so in 2020. And Justice Barrett was nominated on September 29th of this year. Two, disrespect. The actual for real dying wish of the late Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg was that she not be replaced until after the election. Barrett's confirmation was announced 3 days after Ginsburg died, and before she had even been buried. 3. Haste. In order to ram through their nominee before the election, it was the fastest nomination process since 1975, and repugs cut corners everywhere with little investigation, a perfunctory and an incomplete questionnaire, and a bogus process. 4. Magical thinking. Because of the COVID-19 pandemic having spread to the Senate floor, the Senate was actually not in session while the Barrett confirmation hearings took place. How were senators both in session and not in session at the same time? Magic, I guess. 5. Anti-life. Speaking of the pandemic, two members of the Judiciary Committee had COVID-19 during the confirmation process. One attended a hearing in person. Barrett's nomination party was a super spreader event, so much for pro-life. Meanwhile, the Senate did nothing to pass additional coronavirus relief because Majority Leader Moscow Mitch is worried that however it went, the vote might hurt Repug's election chances. 6. Evasion. More than any other nominee in history, Justice Barrett dodged every question of any substance. She said nothing about Obamacare, abortion, or even the peaceful transition of power. 7. Denial. Despite 45 on the Repug platform explicitly promising that he would appoint judges to overturn Obamacare and Roe v. Wade, Repug senators and Justice Barrett clutched their pearls in astonishment that anyone would ever suggest such a thing. Puppet theater. Except for a brilliant half-hour lecture by Senator Sheldon Whitehouse, hardly anyone mentioned the dark money-funded network staffed by religious extremists that have now placed three justices on the Supreme Court and dozens on other courts, and that often brings the conservative activist cares that their handpicked justices then decide. Number 9. Anti-democracy. Repug presidents have now placed 15 of the last 19 justices on the Supreme Court, despite losing the popular vote in 6 of the last 11 presidential elections. The Repug majority in the Senate represents 15 million fewer people than the Democrat minority. Our system, designed in the 18th century, never anticipated this, and most importantly, the last one, 10, delegitimization. Despite the best efforts of Chief Justice John Roberts, the Supreme Court has again lost legitimacy in the eyes of the American public. All three 45 justices are under a cloud. The first is in a seat stolen from from former President Barack Obama. The second was pushed through despite serious rape allegations which have only been further corroborated since his confirmation, and the third was appointed to the court with all the seriousness and deliberation of a Las Vegas wedding. And the reasons are transparently anti-democratic to end abortion, same-sex marriage, Obamacare, civil rights laws, voting right laws, environmental regulations, gun control, campaign finance regulations, compassionate immigration laws, labor laws, and all the other things that large majorities of Americans support and the Repug Party opposes. Make no mistake about this, all of these are on the court's docket, either now or in the immediate future, and if this 6-3 majority is allowed to stand, they will indeed end. In the short term, Justice Barrett may rule on two pending election challenges from Repugs, who are trying to stop as many people from voting as they can. Just as the Senate was voting on her confirmation, the Supreme Court Justice Rapist Brett Kavanaugh authored an opinion on a third one, throwing out an extended deadline for mail-in ballots to Wisconsin. For good measure, Justice the Supreme Court Justice Rapist Kavanaugh cited Bush v. Gore, which he helped to litigate in 2000 for the principle that the Supreme Court can overturn state courts election law decisions if it need to be, because look how well that turned out the last time. A similar case is pending from Pennsylvania after an earlier 4-4 deadlock, which Justice Barrett may now break. That's right, Justice Barrett's first act may be to make it harder for people to vote at all. The Supreme Court's ultra-conservative supermajority doesn't think like America, and it doesn't look like America racially, religiously, or in countless other ways, and it doesn't interpret the Constitution in a way that makes sense to America. Originalism is preposterously selective to take, but one example: there's no right to corporate personhood or even corporations existing in the Constitution because the founders generally hated corporations and thought they shouldn't exist, but tried telling that to the originalists on the court. But then again, neither do repugs. The grand old party is looking especially old these days, and it is likely to lose big in next week's election. And if repugs don't find a way to broaden their appeal beyond 45's sycophantic base of the non-college uneducated, mostly older white men, together with their wives and assorted religious extremists, are going to lose even bigger in the elections to come. That's true even if their hand-picked court allows them to gerrymander, suppress the vote, and allow unlimited dark money to manipulate our elections, which it has already been doing. It just might take a little longer. Fortunately, even moderate Democrats are now out for blood after Garland, Gorsuch, Kavanaugh, and now Barrett, the rapist Kavanaugh anyway, and now Barrett. There was growing support for increasing the size of the court and imposing term limits on justices are both my own proposal, immediate term limits for all justices, which would create two immediate vacancies. No doubt repugs will cry that Democrats are threatening the legitimacy of the Supreme Court, and they're exactly wrong. In fact, structural change is the only way to restore this. So if you like the video, give the video a like and subscribe to my channel, Rambin Mike, and also hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified when the new video comes out, and thanks for listening.